You said we'll catch y'all in the next one.
You knew what I was talking about. The next one.
Jordan's ready to go, I guess. All right. You ready?
Yes, sir.
First fitness question.
You asked me if I've already. Yeah. All right.
You said yes, sir. That's a clear response.
I'm here now. Let's get it.
What are supplements and how can they be used effectively?
All right. So before we get into this question, let's just talk a little bit about the origin. I've been seeing a lot of talk on my Twitter. Shout out to Twitter because I'm always on Twitter. Timeline always got some interesting stuff. I've just seen people recently trying to, I don't know if they're trying to start or get back into, but either way, they're undergoing their fitness journey and they're trying to do it to the best of their ability. So they're using a lot of various sources of knowledge to try to get their body to the desired outcome, the desired goals. In that process, I think some of the people might be taking in too much information. When it comes to your fitness journey, some things you just got to know. You just got to start with the basics and then grow from there, right? Sometimes if you try to go too intricate from the jump, it could be a little overwhelming. And I think that turns into frustration and then eventually turns into quitting, not accomplishing your goal. So due to that, one of the things that was being discussed is supplements and should they take them, what should they be taking? And, there's a lot of questions. So I was going to do my best to try to share what I know about supplements. Now, we already did our general disclaimer. This is my professional fitness trainer disclaimer, basically saying, look, if you want to take supplements. It's up to you. Get a dietitian, you know what I mean? Allow them to describe what you should and should not be taking. I'm going to do my best to elaborate, give you, I guess, a little insight on what I do and what I take and what I don't take and why. All right? So, bringing it back to the question, I always try to give y'all the bottom line up front in case you don't want to listen to this whole section. What are supplements and how can they be used effectively? So let's start off with the definition. Supplements are consumables that deliver an organic or synthetic version of a nutrient to your body for growth and development. All right. So that is my definition of supplements. And I did not look that one. That I usually get some information from Google. That one was just me off the top of my head. So yeah. What's your initial reaction to supplements, Cory? I mean, you cool. Let me put this. What's your comfortable knowledge level with supplements? Are you aware of what they are?
I was going to relate this to the BBL question in the last episode. Is this natural or not?
Well, we'll get into that. That's why I had to put the
people take. There are a whole bunch of different pills that people take, but supplements, vitamins. I know they're not the same thing, but y'all be popping drugs. Y'all be popping these drugs.
Listen, we're gonna get into it.
Y'all
all right,
be popping a pill.
So let's start with the first thing on the list of things that you definitely need to know about supplements if you are going to be ingesting them. Right. So the first thing is supplements can come in a variety of different forms. They can come in pills, powder, liquid form. That being said, I mean they still supplements, right? Regardless the method in which they're consumed, they're still supplements. The goal should still be the same. They should add some type of nutrient to the body, okay? An example of a supplement in pill form would be, without reading the list, Cory, what you got? What's an example of a supplement in pill form?
Well, everybody knows vitamin D.
Yeah, okay, so vitamin D, you got specific on that one. That's cool. People take that. I was just gonna say like a Flintstone multivitamin, right?
Okay, the Flintstone one. Yeah.
Things that people, when you go, you come up as a kid. Everybody, I don't know if they still do the Flintstone vitamins now. I haven't seen them in stores.
I think they have an adult version of them because our generation was complaining so much
about not having. Listen,
marketing.
Hey,
if y'all can buy them.
If you was born in the '90s, you know what I'm talking about. Them Flintstone vitamins go. All right, okay.
Is melatonin in this category?
Yeah, it's a supplement.
Hey, them jokers work.
Hey,
you should get some.
Put
some on your list. And I'll be sure to buy you some.
I have some.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
I look for your son.
Oh yeah.
The child. Don't give him the adult size version. The child one. I used it and it works like a charm.
Yeah.
I used it for a child. It's very instantaneous.
Melatonin is it can be organic and synthetic, but a lot of the forms that I think we take are organic, like it's extracted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no more rum on the gums.
Yeah. We're learning. All right, we're evolving from the generation before us.
Do not give a child alcohol.
Ask your parents if they did that. I guarantee you they'll tell you had a little rum before you were supposed to. Okay?
Yeah, just put some in their bottle and shake it up. What? And y'all wonder why CPS be snatching kids now. All right.
So some examples of supplements that come in different forms consist of calcium. Calcium is a what, Corey? We talk about it.
Calcium is either a carb, protein, or fat.
No, but no.
You said we talk about it.
Calcium goes in water.
You said it goes in water?
Yeah.
It's in the periodic table.
It helps you hydrate. Okay, all right.
It's a nutrient.
It's an electrolyte.
Electrolyte.
Look, that's like. Corey over here, like,
I'm gonna be very, very, very clear. I did not graduate high school with chemistry credits. I failed half the semester, so I did not graduate, and I didn't take it in college. It's on my list of things to educate myself on, but this is chemistry, so
it's all good.
That's why I said periodic table. I know it's in there. It's
none of the answers you gave were wrong. It just wasn't what I was
asking. It wasn't what you were looking for?
Yeah,
it's okay. You trying to get your payback. You be having me on here just answering everything.
Nah, man. Because you be knocking them out the park sometimes. It's okay. It's all right. Calcium is
an electrolyte.
Yes.
When did you tell me this?
We were talking about we had the water episode, and I was talking about hydration, electrolytes. So electrolytes, calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium. Remember? We were talking about those are like the four main. We were talking about how it's minerals in the water.
I was thinking about the sports drinks episode. You're talking about the hydration one.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, no, you did not say it on there. Yes, I remember that now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you running down the period. And the magnesium in there too, the MG or whatever. See, I didn't pass, but I remember that period.
It's like CMP, so calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium.
Yeah.
So. Those are different electrolytes. All right.
Don't worry. Next time,
You're good. Put that one in your bag. All right. So forms of supplements. So we're talking about calcium. Calcium's an electrolyte. It is a mineral. All right. You got fish oil. Fish oil, I believe, if I remember correctly, has a surplus of omega-3s. All right. So that's good for you. I don't even know how to say this.
I was looking at it, I was like, boy.
Coming to an area section cleanup near you. Echinica? ECHINCEA. Yeah, I mean, it popped up. It's a thing. Echinacea. Woo! I was nowhere near close. Anyways, you can tell I don't take none of that.
Let me be real clear and get canceled. That sounds like somebody's name. Go ahead.
Look, coming to a hood. Echinacea. So then there's so we got ginseng. Ginseng's that I know are commonly taken vitamins. Usually, it's also in tea. There's ginseng teas. I think that helps with blood flow along with. Oh gosh.
Does garlic not help blood flow? What is next?
Nah, not garlic. Ginseng. What is the one that helps with blood flow? I take this all the time. It also.
You said you take it all the time.
Yeah.
I hope you know that.
Anyways, I'll circle back to that. That'll be in the cleanup section too. But ginseng's a supplement that you can take. You got garlic. You got vitamin D. I don't know what that is. We're gonna skip that. I ain't never heard of that before. St. John's wort. What? Yeah, no, we're good. And green tea, right?
Which St. John's is
this? Yeah, that's clearly probably in the synthetic because that ain't nothing natural. You know what I mean? But yeah, so bringing it back around full circle, things you need to know. Supplements come in many forms: pill, powder, liquid. All right. Which ones you should take? I mean, we'll get into that a little bit more in depth when we talk about what each one provides. But take whatever consumable method is easier for you, right? Some people can't handle pills, which is why the powder and the liquids exist. Powder you usually got to mix with water, so then it becomes a liquid anyway. I mean, you can ingest the powder directly, you know what I'm saying? But most people don't.
The cinnamon challenge.
Yeah, most people don't. But I mean, people. So again, we start talking about supplements. We talk about the gym, right? People go, they take what is that? Pre-workout.
Yeah, pre-workout.
Yeah, and I forgot what it's called when they just throw the cup straight back and they just swallow it. Like I don't know. There's a name for it. For extreme drinking. But yeah, I mean, listen, if you could take pre-workout. If you could take pre-workout dry to the head, man, you a different type of person.
Most time you don't consume powder dry.
Listen,
it's designed to go into liquids.
I mean, if you've never had pre-workout before, it's a different type of feeling. Like I mean,
as far as what it does to your body,
yeah,
they be jacked up.
Yeah, I'm talking about like amped up. It's so things that go in pre-workout, right? So there's a large amount of. I mean, there's positive things in it too. But there's a large amount of caffeine, right? It's supposed to get you worked up, so you have a lot of quote unquote energy while you're in the gym. but way more than daily recommended.
Yeah, I know
right?
people who take the pre-workout and don't go to the gym.
Listen,
and they didn't like the experience. It's a bad high.
Yeah, it's almost like so I don't take pre-workout anymore. I tried it 2 times, and the times I did try it, I felt like I was gonna like jump out of my skin. Like that's how bad it was. Like it's a whole nother level of fired up, But
most
anyways.
people who I know who take pre-workout are white.
I do actually know African Americans that take pre-workout.
I said most.
I do. So they do use it, but it's just like, honestly, if you do what you're supposed to do, you get an ample amount of sleep and, hydrating like you're supposed to and properly nourished, then you really don't need pre-workout. But that's my opinion.
You got enough melanin in you can use the sunlight.
Let's go.
It and it takes like,
solar power.
Jordan and I are even dark enough. Don't come over here. We don't got that much melanin.
All right, so second thing you need to know about supplements. Some supplements are effective while others are not. And what does that mean? It depends. So, every supplement has an intended effect, right? But as you know, everybody's body is technically, while we're based off the same, not genetic structure, the same overall structure, what happens when for each body is unique, right? Like some people have allergies, some people are allergic to, to things, or some people's bodies react differently to things, right? So you gotta be careful what supplements you take because your experience with pre-workout might not be my experience with pre-workout. You know what I mean? How it work as intended for you.
My metabolism is high. I'd probably be on one. I'm glad I've never done it before, but it sounds like if you tell me it was like that, no.
Well, so this is also my disclaimer, right? So this is that the times I did take it, it was before I found out I had ulcerative colitis, and one of the things that I can't have in ulcerative colitis is caffeine.
Jesus.
So it's like taking a direct, it's like being allergic to shellfish and eating a whole crab, like you know what I mean. So I was on that joint like wilding, like you know what I mean.
Oh,
like,
no.
I think I ran like
you almost OD'd.
Yeah, I ran like 4 miles and I was sweating. And I wasn't, I wasn't tight. My heart rate was accelerated. It's just, it's not good.
That's not good.
Yeah. So that being said, some supplements are effective while others are not. What does that mean to you? You need to be aware of what your body can and cannot handle. And I think that actually ties us into one of our other points too, which is, we're gonna skip that one. Speak with your healthcare provider before taking any supplements, okay? If you aren't sure, if you're taking something, right? Let's say you're taking, I don't want to say a multivitamin because that's not a good example. But let's just say you heard that vitamin E is good for hair growth, right? So you start taking an excessive amount of vitamin E and you don't know whether that's good for you or not. You should probably ask your healthcare provider prior to consuming the supplement. Keyword is prior to. Don't take it and then try to go figure out what's going on after you started taking it because you're already subject to whatever happens, when you take that supplement. So why I say vitamin E, it does help. So
did you make that up or does it does?
No, that's a real thing, right? So vitamin E does help with I'm sorry, what did I just say? It helps with hair growth. Thank you. Hair growth. So for people who don't know, your nails, your hair, and I'm trying to think. There's something else, but they're all made of the same thing, right? So it's all basically like dead skin cells, right? I know that sounds disgusting, but your hair is actually just dead skin. As a that's why it continues to grow because your skin is constantly shedding out of your scalp, and what happens is that, and it's a collection of, I think it's keratin. I want to say it correctly. Anyways, if not, I'll clean it up in the error section.
Well, but you're out of my knowledge base. That's why I don't speak on things I don't know about.
But that being the case, that's why when you take vitamin E, your nails actually grow faster, longer. Your hair grows longer. You know what I mean? And your skin will actually, if you take an excessive amount, will actually dry out a little bit because they're all being impacted by the same supplement. So that being the case, if that's not one of your intended side effects, you might need to again, consult a healthcare professional or do a little additional amount of research before consuming a supplement. I'm trying to think of another example. Oh, vitamin D. I know vitamin D provides an excessive amount of, or vitamin D is good for like a calcium, not a calcium replacement because calcium is its own supplement, but vitamin D works basically to make your bones stronger, right? It can provide additional amounts of calcium, right? But you also have to be aware that when you consume calcium, not everybody's body reacts to calcium the same. So again, I'm talking about my own personal experience. I actually had one of the times I went to the doctor, I was taking vitamin D, right? Because we'll get into that another day. I was taking vitamin D because I was going to talk about how Black people need vitamin D. But I was taking vitamin D and went to the doctor and found out that I had additional calcium deposits within my knees. I was having knee swelling, right? And the doctor told me I was doing that and drinking milk. This was before I converted to almond milk, right? I was drinking like whole milk, yeah. So I'm getting an exceptional amount of vitamin D, and the doctor was actually telling me that it was backing up, and the calcium was backing up in places that it wasn't supposed to, particularly my kneecaps, causing calcium deposits to store there in between where my cartilage used to be. So what that does is it causes irritation in the bone to rub together and swelling, right? So I had fluid in my kneecaps due to having an excessive amount of calcium in my body, right? So that being the case, that's not for everybody, but that's my body's unique reaction. So you need to, one, know your body, two, know enough about the supplement to know what it's supposed to do and what the side effects can be. And if you're having a reaction that is not intended based off of the research, then you definitely need to seek a healthcare professional, all right? So circling back, talked about the types of supplements, we talked about the forms, and we talked about just consulting your healthcare professional, all right? So we're gonna go back up to not all supplements are safe. And I think we kind of touched on this a little bit when we start getting into supplements that are pertaining particularly to working out. Pre-workout is one of those things where you can take it, but I think if you actually read the label on most pre-workouts, it's like a take at your own risk type thing, because it does come with an excessive amount of caffeine, right? Like
drugs.
Yeah, I mean, so for people who don't know, caffeine is technically a drug, right? It's a drug that we've accepted, and it's technically accepted by the FDA at this point.
It's legal.
It's in sodas, and we consume it a lot, right? Coffee.
That's the biggest drug. That's cigarettes. Y'all be addicted to that coffee. I'm Starbucks. I didn't say don't do that. I'm just saying, yeah, that coffee detox.
Listen. But see, you know what it is? It's actually not the coffee. It's the caffeine. Yeah.
So we go decaf.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're taking in excessive amounts of caffeine, you probably don't even realize that you've been feeding your body this thing that you've quietly been addicted to, right? If you're used to having a soda a day and then you don't have a soda a day, you might notice that you'll actually develop
withdrawal.
Exactly.
From a drug.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
And withdrawal shows itself in many ways, including headaches. You might just not feel up to par in terms of energy that day, and it's because you're not giving your body something that it's become used to. So one thing you will realize is our bodies are adaptive, right? So if you give it caffeine every day, it will become dependent on said caffeine every day, right? So the day you decided not to give it, or give it whatever it is, in this case the caffeine, it will react accordingly. All right?
Y'all need y'all fix.
Look, it starts sending up red flags, and one day, what better way to send up a red flag than to put you in pain, right? Hey, you got a headache, you know what I mean? I bet you'll get a soda now, you know what I mean? So people have associated that pain with that lack of not having what their body is used to. So how do you fix it? It's almost like and I'm not trying to call us rats, but it's like the rats with the shocking in front of the cheese, right? Like if you get electrocuted enough times, eventually the rat will stop trying to get the cheese. It's the same thing, but in inverse with caffeine, right? If you have enough headaches, eventually you'll go back and have another soda or another cup of coffee, right? So then saying that to say some supplements are not always safe. Getting back into the ones that pertain, I got something in my eye. Sorry.
Sorry guys, Jordan has something in his eye.
It hurts a lot.
It hurts a lot.
That's bullshit!
Not lie!
Stupid.
Getting back into supplements as they pertain to working out, you have to be careful what it is you're putting in your body in terms of if you're trying, I guess it depends on which way you're trying to go. If your goal is to gain, right? If you're trying to put yourself not necessarily a caloric deficit, but a caloric surplus because you're trying to gain muscle, right? A lot of people just assume that you're supposed to start taking protein, or you might take, what is the other one that puts on water weight? You know what I'm talking about, Cory? It's not protein.
Water weight?
It's not protein. There's another one.
I know birth control makes you gain weight.
Yeah, it's not that. I'm drawing a lot of blanks today, and I had this protein. Again, coming to our area section cleanup near you.
There's carbohydrates. Protein.
No.
So that makes you gain water weight?
There's another supplement that you take that people. So, usually bodybuilders take it. It's like a form of protein, but it's an extreme form. And what it does is, one of the side effects.
Creatine?
Thank you, creatine. I appreciate it.
So people, when you said bodybuilder, I was like, oh,
yeah,
thank
you.
The one they use is not steroids.
Yeah. It's not steroids. It's basically a protein supplement, but it what it does is it adds water to your muscle, right? So in addition to adding that protein layer where you're allowing your muscle to heal, it allows for it to also retain water, right? So that's why people, when they take creatine, they get really big. But then if you've ever seen somebody who used to work out that no longer works out, that stopped taking, all the supplements,
they get big.
Yeah, they get big, or their muscles start to droop almost because their muscles have been trained to retain this, this fluid for years. And then when you stop giving your body that supplement and it disappears, the fluid is still present, but you know what I'm saying? It's your body's used to being in the shape that it was, right? It's almost like when people are extremely heavy set, when they lose a lot of weight real fast, your skin doesn't necessarily snap back. That's why they have the folds still remaining even if you, so like let's say you're, 400 or 500 pounds and, you're in a smaller frame and you lose a significant amount of weight, you will have to usually get the skin surgically, surgically altered to if you don't want the hanging effect afterwards. But saying that to say that supplements aren't always safe, and those are just some example of working out supplements. I don't want to say like all supplements aren't supplements you can use for working out, but those are ones that primarily bodybuilders use, right? Even some of the simple supplements that people take aren't always safe, and some examples include vitamin K. Apparently, vitamin K can reduce the effectiveness of blood thinners. All right, so let's say you're taking ibuprofen, which is a blood thinner for people who don't know, because people take ibuprofen. Ladies taking ibuprofen all the time when you're having that time and you're trying to relieve some pain. All right, you're taking a blood thinner. If you're taking a supplement that contains vitamin K and you're on your ibuprofen, and what you don't know is basically you don't want to take two things that counteract with one another, right? If you're trying to alleviate pain using ibuprofen, and then you simultaneously took some vitamin K prior to taking your ibuprofen, because the vitamin K is part of your morning routine for with your multivitamin, right? You've already set yourself up for that drug to then be ineffective, right? So knowing what you're taking and knowing what you're consuming and knowing the side effects of each one are key to making sure that you're doing what's necessary when trying to add those supplements into your dietary.
That's why they say not to take with other drugs.
Yeah, I mean it does. So shout out to reading, right? For people who actually read the bottles, they say a lot of these drugs. I want to say a lot. I want to say all. I think all these drugs.
Most you're not supposed to take with anything else.
Yeah. Because of this.
Heavy machinery,
right?
Drive.
That's why when you take a drug and then they tell you not to consume alcohol or things like you're not supposed to, anything that can have an additional adverse effect on your body, you should be taking simultaneously with something else that can have an effect on your body, right? It's like working all day on a formula and then you take it and then by the way you drop a little bit of something else that wasn't in the formula and it does something completely different. That's basically what's happening in your body. Your body is the beaker for all of this, right? Shout out to chemistry.
Yeah, I know that. So.
Oh man. So another example, ginkgo apparently can increase blood thinning, right? So if your goal is to, to cause your blood to clot, let's say for my people who can't, who don't, what's the condition? It's sickle cell, right? Where your blood doesn't clot. All right, I'm asking online. Anyways, there's a condition that I know people can have where your body has, if you were to get cut or something of that nature, your body has trouble forming clots, right? Red blood, yeah. It says it's a red blood cell disorder. Anyways, there's a condition that your body can get in which it is having trouble.
Saying the answer, they don't even say what it is.
Yeah, it's ambiguous. There's a condition in which your body can get where it's very difficult for your blood to clot. If you're taking ginkgo, or let's say you're taking medicine to rectify that, if you take ginkgo, it might have the opposite effect on your medicine, therefore making it ineffective, right? So saying all that to say, you want to make sure that you are effective in the supplement that you're taking in accordance with your everyday life, right? Don't throw off your everyday routine trying to add healthy hair with your vitamin E and it throws off something that you need to get through your everyday life, okay?
Jordan looking at me like, go back to the document.
Now we.
I was looking at it. It's
at this point,
I don't think it's sickle cell at all.
At this point, I'm gonna just have to clean. You know what I'm saying? I'll just have to listen to this episode again and clean it up because we're not about to figure it out live. I already covered speaking with your healthcare provider to take any supplements, and last but not least, you want to make sure that supplements
natural as always.
Exactly, which number 5 should really be number 1. But
best for last.
Yeah, what really the point is nothing beats the nutrient power of a healthy diet, right? So supplements are exactly what they sound like. Supplemental means in addition to, right? You shouldn't use supplements as a substitute for a healthy diet. It should be in addition to a healthy diet. There are people who completely, who live naturally, create their caloric deficits naturally, eat healthy, their proteins, carbs, and fats. You should have, for our people who are struggling with their caloric deficit or caloric surplus management, you technically want 30% proteins, you want 45% carbohydrates, you want 25% fat, right? So whatever your caloric value is, right? You still want to make sure your proteins, your fats, and your carbs fall into that percentage breakdown, all right? For people who are trying to create a caloric deficit, you want about 0.8 grams of protein per pound, all right, for the desired weight. And for people who are trying to create a caloric surplus, you want about 1.5 grams of protein per pound for the desired weight, okay? And those numbers are for males. They actually slightly differ for females, not to the point where it needs to be super dramatic, but they're roughly the same for males and females. I think it's about, I want to say it's 0.6 to 1.3 for women, but either way, you want to have less than a gram if you're trying to create a caloric deficit, and you want to have a gram or more if you're trying to create a caloric surplus. Tracking. But saying all that to say, be naturally healthy, right? Supplements are an addition to creating your sustainable, healthy lifestyle habit. You should want to rectify the problems that you're already having in your diet game before you add supplements. Supplements are a video game reference, right? When you start the first level, you want to go through the tutorial. You want to go through the tutorial first, right?
Stupid.
Thank you. You want to go through the tutorial first. You want to learn how to play the game. That is what a healthy diet is, right? Learn all the controls, learn how to use them properly, okay? Supplements are like the armor that you get on like level 10 that then boost your already, the already existing gameplay, right? It's the cherry on top for the sundae. It's not the ice cream, okay?
They enhance your current skills.
Yes, okay? It's, you want to make sure that you have the skills that you need to be efficient regardless of whether you're taking supplements or not. They should always be an add-on, a bonus, okay? And then even in doing so, I recommend still keeping your supplement game to, I don't want to say a minimum, but a small confined group, right? Supplements, because they are an additional like an add-on to your body, right? You have to be careful on one, how many you're taking at one time, when you're introducing what, because you need to be, it's almost like having your body is a formula, right? And you want to introduce what you know works for your body. And then as you start to add supplements, you want to basically have the control, which means you have your, like a baseline for your body, right? And as you add the supplement in, you need to note what occurs, what happens, what doesn't happen. So you know exactly which supplement is causing which reaction. You see what I'm saying? If you start taking, if you don't take any supplements at all, and then you go from taking no supplements to taking 3 supplements simultaneously, and now you got a stomach ache, you know what I mean? Stomach ache, you got your face could break out, you know what I mean? These are things that actually happen. I've seen this happen for people who take supplements, who don't take supplements at all, and then end up taking them, and now they got, half their faces covered in acne, they got stomach aches all the time, and they can't sleep at night. And it's like, bro, you just consumed, a thing that's got 300 milligrams of caffeine, you got water retention in your muscles, and on top of that, by the way, you need to be drinking more water if you're taking supplements. That's always, you need to be drinking more water anyway, because half of y'all not drinking the recommended daily dosage of water. But you definitely need to be drinking more water if you're adding these additional nutrients to your body, okay? Have to take in at least how much water, Cory? Do you remember? 32. Yeah. Are you guessing?
Nah, it's 32.
Yeah, it's this one.
It's 32.
You want to take in at least 32 fluid ounces. I mean,
You say 64.
I'm gonna say 60.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's 32, but you always say 64.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm a big gallon boy over here. I mean, I got 128
That sounds
over
weird.
here.
I'm just gonna let you know.
I don't
I'm a
care.
big gallon boy.
Big gallon boy over here. For my people viewing us on YouTube, I got the big gallon water bottle. But so it's 128 fluid ounces, but that could be excessive. You really only need at least 32. Recommended 64. All right. 32 is what, technically 8. I'm sorry,
It's
4
two-
8-ounce
yeah,
glasses.
It's 2 of the regular size
Yeah.
bottles, water bottles near a gas station usually.
Gotcha. So
Well, gas stations have a lot of different sizes, which y'all know what I mean.
I was about to say, I think some of them are actually 12 fluid ounces. So you need a little bit more.
And the fluid is like 16.9.
Okay.
Because if I put 2 Deer Park bottles in here, it'll
Yeah.
overfill.
Gotcha.
And this is 32 ounces.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why,
Look, y'all know what we talking about.
Yes.
Drink water. Look at it.
Budget.
Yes. What else that I need to make sure we touch on supplements? Oh, organic versus natural. I don't think we covered that in this countdown, but some supplements are organic, some supplements are some supplements are synthetic, right? Organic means real, synthetic means created in a lab. All right. So know the difference between what type of supplements that you're taking. You need to know the effects of organic melatonin versus synthetic melatonin. Your body might agree with the organic and not agree with the synthetic. I'll just go ahead and give you my disclaimer. For me, I try to look for more. Now that I'm more knowledgeable, I try to look for more organic options in my supplements if I can, right? Because organic, how they get it into the supplement form, right? That means they literally took the natural version, extracted extracted it, and then put it into the capsule or the powder or the liquid that you are now consuming, right? So literally, if you're getting melatonin, I believe melatonin is a root, if I remember correctly. So they're literally taking melatonin in its root form and either grounding it up into a powder or putting it into a pill or putting it through some type of process to turn it into a liquid. So saying all that to say, you want to get as close to an organic product as possible. And I don't want to say there's anything wrong with synthetic melatonin, but if it's created in a lab, it has to have some type of. I guarantee you, if you held up synthetic melatonin and organic melatonin, the organic would probably be more potent, be more powerful, and probably be less harmful to your body long term in terms of what the synthetic melatonin offers. Right? That's not saying that synthetic melatonin is, extremely detrimental, but if I had to pick between the two, I'm always going to pick the organic option. Now, that being said, do what you can do in respect to your budget, right? Organic options usually cost more. That is, look, I'm going to say it one more time. Bring it back. Hit me with the record one time. Organic options usually cost more. Be mindful of that. Plan for it accordingly. This is also why you need to do more research on the supplements that you actually want, because you can't afford to get them all, okay? I got a handful of stuff downstairs that I need, that I actually, that I use, that I actually get from the organic store. I have a budget. When I go in, to my mom's organic market, I go get what's on my list and I leave, because there's a lot of stuff in there. And you'll see it all and you're like, oh yeah, I could use this, until you get to the register and it's $25.99. I don't know about y'all, but I don't got $26 to waste on a trial. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah. So
that was nice.
Plan accordingly. All right.
Oh my.
I think that wraps it up. Any questions that you have on supplements before we get into it? Oh, some supplements that I recommend. Okay, so grass-fed collagen protein powder. All right, that is what myself and the Fit Fam take. If I recommend it, if you're in the Fit family, that that's what I recommend.
$34.99.
Yes, sir.
Went up $1. Shout out to inflation.
It really did, though.
They do discounts that mom does very
Yes.
frequently, but still.
Yeah, catch it on sale. I tell them all the time, if you can catch it on sale, I buy 2 bottles when it's on sale, so I can make it to the next time it's on sale. But yeah, that's got about 20 grams of protein per serving size. Easy on the stomach. Sometimes it has additional, depending on which version you get. There's versions with MCT and additional probiotics. So other things that are sprinkled in there on top of the protein that are good for gut health. I get the ones for probiotics because, as I've stated before, I've also took colitis. So gut health is extremely important to me. Okay, I need things that help my stomach, stay nice and level. All right. That being the case, so I had to go through a whole severe try and error process with my protein, because that's one of the things that was affecting my ulcerative colitis. It was taking, I can't take I don't want to throw out a company, but I can't take certain types of protein. Let's just leave it at that, right? So I had to find that one that was giving me the additional, that was one organic, giving me the amount of protein I need, but also, you know, beneficial to my ulcerative colitis situation. All right. So again, we're all unique. I know we're all humans, but we're all unique. Okay. Cory's different from me and the next person. You know what I'm saying? So you got you got to find what works for you. Okay. What else do I take? I have an organic multivitamin. My disclaimer on multivitamins, find a multivitamin that does have a little bit of everything in it, but find a multivitamin that tailors to what you need in life. So my multivitamin, again, is specifically a gut health multivitamin. So it has probiotics in it. It's got a little bit of other stuff that omega-3s. It's got some stuff that's specifically good for me. Because one thing that you do need to understand, so again, with supplements, is that your body can only absorb so much of any given nutrient, right? So getting a super expensive multivitamin that's got thousands and thousands of milligrams of every vitamin, you're peeing out 75% of that, you know what I mean, on a daily basis, right? So that being the case, why waste your money on a $50 multivitamin where you're only absorbing 1/4 of it, right? Find something that works for you. I'd rather have a multivitamin with 5 things in it that's got exactly what I need in an organic extract, you know what I mean, than have a multivitamin that's got 30 things in it with 3 times the amount that I need that's going in the toilet. So just be mindful of that when you're picking out vitamins. All right. I think that's it. Any questions? All right.
It's over 9,000.
There you go. Make sure you're a good doctor.
Yes.
All right. You have anything else?
No, sir. We're good to go.
All right. On. Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right.
I was going to say, on to the
finance section.
let's get it.